Hello YouTube, Sam here from youtube.com/onlivegamer for the new Boston, and in this tutorial we're going to be taking a look at queues. Now queues, like an array list, is a collection. Now there are a bunch of different collections in Visual Basic, such as hash tables, there's stacks, list dictionaries, order dictionaries, string collections, bit array collections. We'll go into some of those, but not all of those in these tutorials. So let's go ahead and take a look at a queue. So we'll go ahead and click New Project, and we'll just name this project Collections, because I'm going to be looking at teaching you guys several different collections using this same project. So I'll go ahead and click OK. So we'll wait for that to load, and now what we're going to do is we're going to view the code for this, and we will zoom in some here. So now what we're going to do is we are going to create a queue collection. So we'll type private, and we'll just call it queue, and then we'll type as keyword. Then we will use the new keyword, and then we'll type queue. So what we did is we created a private queue which can only be accessed in form 1, and we used as new queue, which means that it is an object of queue. And if we can create as many queues as we want, and they're going to be independent of each other. So what queues do is it's a way of storing objects, because when you add an item to your queue, it takes the argument object, and it uses what's called FIFO, or first in, first out, such as a line at a ticket booth. The people start lining up, and the first person who got there is going to be the first person to get their ticket and then get out of there. So let's go ahead and add some stuff to our queue. So we'll type queue dot, and to add something to our queue we just type in queue, or we can't do that outside of a sub, so we'll go ahead and double click on form 1. So when form 1 loads, we will type queue dot in queue. Now if you read the description, it says adds an object to the end of the system.collections.queue. So it adds it to the end of our line. We'll just call it a line because lines are first in, first out. So since the end of the line there is nobody or no object in front of this item, this will be the first one inside of our queue. So queue.enqueue, and let's just see the first one in our queue. So we can add as many as we want. So we'll add 2, we'll add 3, and we'll just add 4. Okay, so now that we've added some stuff to our queue, it's going to be first in, first out. So if we take something out of our queue, it's going to take out 1, and then it'll take out 2. So the way we take stuff out is by typing queue.dq, and it says removes and returns the object at the beginning of the system.collections.queue. So it's going to remove this object right here, or whatever object we tell it to. And we're just going to leave this with nothing inside the parameters. So queue.dq is going to return the first object, which is 1. So now if we type message box queue.dq, and then we'll just go ahead and convert that to a string. And if we go ahead and run this, you can see that we should get the value 2, because we started off by declaring our queue, we added the value 1 to it, then 2, then 3, then 4. Then we dequeued, and since it's first in, first out, it dequeues 1. And then if we dequeue the next one, it's going to be 2. It returns the value 2 to us, and then we just converted that to a string. Now, if you don't want to take the item out of your queue, and you just want to look at it and without removing it, you can use queue.peek. So let's go ahead and run this, and you can see that it gives us 2. So it peaked at the value at the next item in our list, which is 2. Now if we type message box and then q.dq, it's going to give us 2 as well, because when we typed peak, it did not remove it from our queue, it just looked at it. So let's go ahead and run this. We get 2, and then we DQ 2. So queues are, they can be useful. You may not find any practical application for them when you're first starting off, but you may later on, and it's useful to know them. So practice with some queues. Remember that they are FIFO, F-I-F-O, for first in, first out. And once you know how to make queues and how to use them, go ahead and move on to the next tutorial, and thanks for watching.